Okay, I'm going to try to demonstrate the tie stitch here, and I'm using this red thread right here. So whatever stitch you are coming out of, doesn't really matter, but if you're coming out of a previous tie stitch, you'll be to the right of that stitch. You'll be pulling it over and across the coil, and the best thing to do is to loop it around your finger like this. And I'm using my other fingers to hold the tail end a little bit down against the rest of the basket, just to create some tension like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the needle up, and I'm going to aim for this part here, just to the left of that stitch there, going across the top of this. So I'll go in between the coils, and I'll come out the other side, just to the left of that stitch below. I'll pull that through, all the while keeping this loop around my finger. Now I don't need the other fingers to hold down the tension, I can just hold it like this. I'm going to pull it in just a little bit, and my goal is to go up and over the top of that stitch right there before I put my needle in. So I'm using my other finger to hold that down. So now I've got it looped around my finger and held down here, just for tension. As I go across it and go to the right of that stitch below, right there. And it's going to come out to the right of the bottom stitch. I'll try to get that a little closer so you can see. I'll pull that through. I'm still keeping my finger holding the loop on the back until I come to the very end, just to create a little tension. I'll get that nice and squared up there. And so now what I do is I take this, go over the top, and instead of going through any stitches, I'm going to go in between the coils. Pull that through. And get it really snug, and I'm going to keep it out of the way there. And now I'm going to put the needle to the right of that tie stitch right there, and that's going to create the tie. And give that a nice snug, kind of work your coil to where you want it to be, line it up. And now if you can see, it's created a loop around the bottom stitch there, and I'll show you the back side. I can let go. So let's do that again. So I'll pull it across, loop it around my finger, and hold it down. Go to the left of the stitch below, come out on the left, pull it through, and keep your finger on that loop. Go over the top, come to the back, and again you're going to go over the top of that stitch. So hold it down with your finger there. And now we're going to go over the top of the stitch, over the top of the loop, and down and into the right of that stitch from our perspective here. Again, coming out through the right of the stitch from that perspective as well. So that's the first leg of the tie stitch. So there's two legs in a tie, is how I like to think of it. There's the first leg, here's the second leg, and the tie comes in between the coil to tie it together. I really like this stitch. And then that creates that nice, strong stitch across the back. So again, you're coming out on our perspective, the right side, and when it crosses over, it also locks in that stitch there a little bit. So we'll make a loop, go in through the left, out through the left. Have your finger looped on the back. This is the first tie, or first leg of the tie. Goes over the loop right there, so you can see that. Goes over the loop, and then it goes into the right. Technically you could let go at this point of that loop, but I find it is kind of nice to hold on to it for a little while. And we're coming to the front inside there on the right. So left, left, right, right. You can let go now. That's the first leg of your tie. Second leg just goes over the top, and it comes in between the coils. And now you can tie it together. What tie is it? Right there. So for a stitch that goes in between coils and doesn't catch the coil, it's actually quite strong. It's soft, but that back stitch holds it together pretty well. The difficulty is that with the top stitch, you've got this pretty big gap in between, in my case, and you have to make sure that you're careful not to have a ragged edge of needles coming out. Alright, I'll do one more here, and I'll get some needles in. To watch me do this. Sorry, I'm not trying to make that very pretty. Alright, so we'll slide the coil out just a little bit. And again, start on the back side, loop it around your finger. There it is right there. Go over the loop and to the left. Come out on the left. So what is happening here is it's not doing much. It's just basically holding the loop still and going into that section. This is where it gets crazy. You go over the top. Oh, actually, I messed up there. Keep that loop. Go over the top of the loop there. Doesn't make a huge difference, but go in between on the right. Out through the right. That's your first leg. Second leg. I like leg tie. And that's not going into the coil, it's just going between the coils. And there you go. So it's yep. Alright. That's the tie stitch.